India, the USA, Great Britain, the Netherlands, Venezuela. People from these and many other countries of the world live with us side by side. They are working, starting families, growing up children and simply enjoying life in Kazakhstan. In our program Connecting Cultures, we share their stories that had occurred before they came to Kazakhstan and after they arrived here. From them, we will learn how the experience of staying in our country has changed their destinies. Our program follows the life of foreigners in our country. This is true stories told by representatives of many nations living and developing in Kazakhstan, and for whom our country has become home. A productive friendship between the United States of America and Kazakhstan lasts for over 25 years. Within this period, a great number of unique projects have been realized in various spheres, and education holds one of key positions in that list. More than 10,000 international students obtain their education here in Kazakhstan, and many of them have come to our country precisely from the USA. Our today's hero, Samuel Curtis, has gone even further, and now he has been teaching English at the Kazakhstan Institute of Management, Economics and Strategical Research for a year already. Our today's hero, Samuel Curtis, has traveled a lot since his childhood. He was born in Germany, but then his family moved to the United States of America. Being an active child, Samuel never stayed in one place and always wanted to try something new, and his passion for sports has built his character and infused him with determination.
Something that I really admire about the Kazakh education system is that the government, parents, teachers, they've all done a really good job at implementing bilingual and trilingual language learning systems. Something that we don't really have in the United States. Students don't really aspire to learn many languages, but here I have students learning their second, third, fourth language. I really admire that. Something else that I really appreciate is the ability to get involved in extracurricular activities here. There are so many different options for students at KEMEP. Dancing, acting, rapping, playing music, and lots of sports. Even I was able to get involved, and I'm an instructor.
Samuel, thank you so much for taking part in our program and being our guest today. So the first question is, tell us please about your childhood, when and where you were born.
I was born in Hamburg, Germany. My father was a professional musician in Cats, the musical, and my mother was an artist and she could work from home. So I grew up there the first 3 years of my life, and then we moved to the United States. From there, my father was repairing instruments for a few years, and we were living in Minnesota. And then we moved to Oregon after about a year, and then I spent the rest of my childhood in Oregon. Oregon is beautiful, a lot of beautiful nature, quite similar to Kazakhstan, actually. Almaty reminds me a lot of Oregon. I would just spend a lot of time at the mountains, at the coast, or just in town playing sports with friends. Really just my brightest memories were those in nature around Oregon. Oregon is really great for camping, so I did a lot of camping growing up. I was involved in the Boy Scouts for several years, and we do lots of camping. I also do plenty with my family. And I haven't yet camped here, but I really hope to before it gets too cold. Thanksgiving was always special to me, not really because of the history, which some Americans aren't so proud of, but just the nature of the holiday. You get together and have a wonderful dinner. And so I've tried to celebrate that wherever I am. I did that when I was in Korea, when I was studying abroad in college. Throughout college, I would be in West Yellowstone. It's a ski area, and I'd celebrate that Thanksgiving holiday with my fellow skiers. And we've also celebrated here in Kazakhstan.
What do you remember from your school time and university time?
High school was pretty normal. I think I was a good student. I was involved in some extracurricular activities, skiing, soccer, swimming, and then I went into college thinking I was going to study psychology. I took one class and I didn't really enjoy it, and then at that time I was enjoying biology. I took a chemistry class that I really liked, and then I ended up studying biochemistry, and I loved it. I really loved my major. I went to university. It was actually Whitman College. It's in Walla Walla, Washington. I get a pretty good reaction out of Walla Walla here. They say it's the town so nice they named it twice.
Before coming to Kazakhstan, Samuel had already been familiar with Asian culture, as he had been studying in South Korea for some time. He had a choice between New Zealand, Scotland and other countries, but Samuel decided to explore something quite new. Thus, when he got a chance to work in Kazakhstan, he didn't delay an instant.
So what has led you to Kazakhstan?
Good question. Towards the end of college, I was finishing up that biochemistry major, and by that time I was just pretty burnt out on sciences. I love them, but I wanted to try something new. So there's a program called Princeton in Asia, and it offers fellowships for students or recent graduates that want to try either teaching English in different countries in Asia or working throughout Asia. So I just had a real keen interest on trying to teach English somewhere, and so I just inquired about this program, this fellowship.
What were your first impressions from country, city, people, food maybe?
Yeah, I think I've tried just about everything. Kazı, beş parmak, kurt, just really all of the dishes I'm pretty sure I've tried. I would have to say perhaps bağırsak are my favorite. I've just eaten way too many of them. Well, it's the first Central Asian or post-Soviet country I've been to. I would say perhaps the first thing that I noticed is that many people have a very serious demeanor. People just look a little bit more stern. And so that took a bit of time to get used to. But it's also, you know, I came from America and people put on smiles all the time, and so I think maybe we smile too much in the States. It wasn't too hard to get used to. I really love the proximity to the mountains. So during the winter, it's so easy to go to the mountains. I spent a lot of time up at Joly last winter, and I plan to go skiing a lot this summer. That's definitely one of my favorite things. There are also those ski jumps close to Al-Farabi, and during the winter, there are cross-country ski trails that track back and forth around those ski jumps, and they're open to the public. And so if you want to, during the winter, you can just go there if you have skis and go skiing for free. And I think it's one of the nicest secrets about the city. I spent a lot of days over there as well.
Let us talk about your work in KIMAP. What are your job duties there?
I teach English to incoming freshman students, primarily writing and reading. So as soon as students enter the college, they need to make sure that they're ready for some of the business or economics classes. And so everyone has to take English courses. And so I help them structure and write some of the first essays at KIMAP. For me, it's pretty special because for a lot of them, this is the first essay that they've written, full-length essay in English. And it's pretty amazing to be with them during that process. Well, actually, myself and the other Princeton and Asia teachers at KIMAP, we don't teach a whole lot of classes. I'm only teaching 2 sections, but that's great for me because I get a lot of class time with students, or a lot of one-to-one time with students. So if I have an assignment that I give to them and it's not up to a certain standard, I tell them that they have to meet with me. So I spend a lot of time with my students in my office, and I think that that's the fastest way for improvement. One more part of my job is that myself and a few other foreigners, we host an English club at KIMAP. And so every Monday, 6 to 7 p.m., we have an English club that's free to the community. And we've seen anywhere from 30 to 60 people just show up, and we just give them a topic and we go through it for an hour.
And what do you think about the local students and the colleagues that you're working with?
Well, they're really bright and really creative. I really appreciate that I'll give them a lot of assignments where I'll give them freedom to do whatever they want, to answer questions however they might want to, and they'll take that creativity and go with it. And so I enjoy that. Colleagues, I couldn't be happier about my colleagues. Really, I think that the KIMAP language program has improved so much these past years. It's really a collaborative group. So we have a lot of native teachers, but also a handful of foreigners. And the whole department is working together to improve the program. During the time I've been here, for only a year and a half now, I've seen so much improvement. We're really focusing on improving student integrity, improving the classroom environment, and raising the standards of study at Jibek.
You're teaching English here in Kazakhstan for more than 1 year already. Will you be interested in learning some Kazakh language?
Well, I'd love to be learning the Kazakh language. I just haven't had time at the moment, but it's something that is important to me, and I hope at some point to study it. In principle, it's pretty easy to get around Almaty and just English, but it is important to me because I think it would help me connect even better to the culture.
What do you like to do at your free time?
As I said, I'm pretty involved in skiing when I can. Something else that I got involved in was KELT, Kazakhstan English Language Theater. So earlier this year, maybe you saw Cinderella. We had a really big musical called Cinderella, Zolushka. I actually got involved by accident. A friend was visiting me really early on when I just arrived in Kazakhstan, and we were walking around Kimep before work started, and we saw this poster for auditioning for Cinderella, and she just dared me to do it. In the audition, I just tried singing, I tried dancing, and they were kind enough to let me join. And it was just so much fun. It really helped me connect to the Kazakh friends that I have now, and we were doing that over the course of eight or 9 months. We were producing that. It was a really big project. I'm honestly a bit glad to be done with it, but it was one of the best extracurricular activities I've ever been involved in. It was amazing.
The Broadway musical Cinderella has been a great success in Almaty. This is the first musical in English that has been staged in Kazakhstan. A large number of people of different ages and nationalities have been involved into this whole vast project.
So Samuel, what are your plans for the future?
Well, my contract is set to end in January. I'm looking at some ways that I might be able to stay around, but I'm not really sure. Either way, I know that at some point I'm going to be returning to Kazakhstan. In one way or another, I'm not sure at the moment, but I'm definitely going to be back.
So you're living here for almost 2 years. What can you say about the Kazakhstan to all the viewers of our program?
There's a lot to say. I have certainly met some of the kindest and the most compassionate people I've ever known in Kazakhstan. And it's definitely really exciting to be here when the country's in the midst of its development. I just see the city changing around me every single day. It's definitely an exciting time to be living here, and I love to see the way that all of the students and all of my friends are involving themselves outside of school and outside of their jobs in various creative ways. There's so many amazing and fun, interesting facts about Kazakh culture, but the memories that will stick most with me are those with my friends. I've been so fortunate to have some amazing coworkers, really sweet students, and some friends that I've met through KELT, through acting, and through the university. And I know that those memories are going to stay with me. I certainly call Kazakhstan my second home. I do feel at home here, and I'd love to stay here for a long time. I think my mom would miss me too much, but I definitely do feel at home here.
Just in Kazakhstan, Samuel has found what he was searching for in other countries: friends, an interesting job, and a great promise. The education system of our country has gone down a treat with him and facilitated reaching significant heights in linguistics. And already now, our hero imparts his knowledge to future young specialists.